All right. So we're going to be starting now attacking principles. So we're going to be going over some of the attacking principles from defense to midfield to forward. So when you attack, one of the biggest problems, unfortunately, in the United States soccer, youth soccer especially, is a lot of parents, they come to us and they say at the beginning, it's always the same thing. In the younger ages, they say, I want my kid to play forward because he's really good or she is really great. Like that's where she shines or he shines because that, and it is the wrong idea of forwards being the glory. Yes, they score goals, but they're not the glory. Like they're not even number two most scholarship or most pro athletes in the world. So we need to change this mentality that attacking is everybody. Even a keeper is a part of the attacking. Like there are keepers who has as many assists as a midfielder, you know, and they are also in key passes to start an attack. Defenders, midfielders, forwards, they all need to be a part of the attack. So one of the issues that we face, guys, is unfortunately when the attack is happening, especially when you have a discipline-based coach like me, you're responsible to come back when you lose the ball, right? So a lot of laziness happens with that mentality. A lot of laziness starts with, oh, okay, if I go, I need to run back, so I don't want to go. So that's what happens then. If we have two players up there or three players up there, or three players are against their whole midfield trying to recover and their defense. And everybody, even their dogs in Washington State plays 4 defender system, so there's 4 guys up there already. Let's just say they have a hard-working outside mids and a D mid. And, you know, that's 7 players. And we have 3 players up there. You're leaving 7 players, you know, to defend them. So the chances they're going to be successful each time is going to be very low. So if they are fast and they actually score a couple goals, that's not going to be consistency. If you guys want to play as far soccer as you want to go, consistency is more important than an individual game performance. Okay, so we need numbers up there. So you got to make sure you have midfielders and defenders who is willing to join the attack. And my rule is this: when I talk to defenders, if a center back passes the ball to forward and he has space to move in, I want them to finish that attack. I want him to join the attack, and somebody needs to cover him, but he needs to go up there. He needs to step up and be a surprise attack. Okay, so that's unexpected. That's always a very useful attack system. So I'm very pushing that subject because of it. So United States soccer came up with a language to give clear expectations, clear principles for attacking. And we're going to be kind of going over with those. Most of them are obviously works for every tactic, every single thing, but some of them might not fit in our system of play at the time, but this is really good language, and I want you guys to kind of pay attention to it. So first one, defensive third. Okay, we are in the defense, and we are trying to get out. Our goal is to what? Possession to pass or dribble forward in order to create chances in the offensive third, right? So our defenders need to be calm. They need to be not booting the ball every single time. If they have space, they can dribble forward. They need to possess the ball smart. We need to make sure that we keep the ball. Like I always say, from the Pele's famous words, if you control the ball, you control the score. But obviously, most of the time, we're also okay if the other team controls the ball, because as long as they don't come to our danger zone in the final third, we're okay with them passing the ball right and left. We're fine with that. I don't see that as a loss, and other teams get excited about it, how much possession they have. I've won games 4-0. In a game, I possessed 20%. So, you know, you just need to know what to do. But that's not our ultimate goal. If we have the ball, we want to possess. We want to keep that ball. And as long as we can keep it, if we can get 80% possession, I'm not against that. So you guys all understand. We want to possess the ball. But if we lose possession, we need to be not giving any chances to the other team. So general principles to achieve those goals. You see the goals. I want everybody to either write these down or take a picture of it, please. All right, number one, of course, you can do exploit the opponent when unbalanced and disorganized, or unbalanced and disorganized the opponent. So how do you unbalance and disorganize the opponent? Let's just say like you pass the left mid and left mid gets pressured as forward slides that way, everybody slides that way, and to unbalance them, obviously they're opening the opposite side, right? So if you can drop it back to keeper or the center back and he can open the game to the other side, you just unbalance and disorganize the opponent and you have more space to dribble forward now, and we are exploiting it. Does that make sense? Or was that too fast? Please comment before we go to the next. Do you have any questions too? Like if you guys want to ask a question about it, please do so now. Take a picture of it. All right, next one. Mid-third, in the midfield. Our goal is to position the pass and dribble forward, and in order to create chances in offensive third. It's not very different than the first one, is it? General principles for this: to exploit the opponent when unbalanced and disorganized. Unbalanced, disorganized opponent. Same thing, right? It's going through the same exact thing now. So how do you do that? Same idea. Catch him off guard, right? You need to wait for the right moment to move forward. And you can unbalance them by, opening up quickly to open spaces. We're going to be going over it with the field session more and more with that. But like off the ball movement is a key thing for that. And also like communication, when you're letting somebody to open the game, or you see that there's an opening in the through ball, all those things that we kind of talk about, like some of the languages that we've been really working on in the last couple months before we ended the trainings, was through ball, asking for the through ball, wide, square, which I don't like square because that's not my thing, but square, right? Drop, okay, open the game, switch the ball, like all those languages are very important languages. Man on, right? Like even a simple thing. I say this, and a lot of players when I played in Europe said that, not me. So that means he's thinking about giving the ball to you and passing the ball to you, and you see that you're having a guy coming at you on the other team, or you're being marked closely, and you saying not me changes the player's mind, so he knows that you're not open anymore. So I think that even is a key moment, right? And offensive third. What is the goal? It's there in the word, goal, right? So building up and scoring. Exploit the opponent when unbalanced and disorganized. Unbalanced, disorganized the opponent. So do you see that they're all going after the same exact thing with these? They want to focus on these things in each position. So as you can see, even the United States soccer mentality is, installing that language to you, right? So now, how do you achieve these goals? Obviously, this is one of the things that I really like about it. The rest of them is kind of like installing to your brain, right? But this is an important one. In an attacking position, once we get the possession of the ball, what do? We spread out. We utilize the space, triangulate, create passing options, right? Passing or dribble forward when possible, or hold on to the ball, right? Support the attack. This is a very key moment. A lot of you guys, unfortunately, you don't want to do the work to run forward and come back, and you're lazy and you're out of shape, and you don't do the work. You don't want to attack, and we need to have more numbers to attack. You have no idea how much of a difference it makes when you have 7-8 players up in the offensive half than 3-4 players. I mean, doesn't matter how good your forwards or your midfielders, you need to make sure you support the attack every time. And create 2 versus 1s, 1 versus 1s. I like that. Like I said, I think that needs to be opening up in a field session, because usually that means giving goals forever for most of the people that works with this. But to me, I like to be more creative than just giving goals forever, right? Create diagonal pass lines. So this is an important one for me. Like a lot of times, a lot of positions are almost chess pieces in soccer, especially in the United States, that we need to be creative. That diagonal run thing changes the game, because every action needs a reaction, right? So let's just say Ronaldo is playing left mid or left attacking mid, right? And if he sees an opening in the center between the two center mids, Ronaldo will make a run there. He will see that opening and he will make a run, diagonal run behind, and show himself in between. Meanwhile, that opens up the way for the left mid. So if Ronaldo is being marked and they're getting even more compact, that opens the way of the guy behind. Diagonal runs are insanely important in this soccer. Like, it's just, you have no idea how much of a difference it makes. And you don't know like how many players are so like, I know soccer, my dad taught me soccer, or my uncle showed me this. So they are standing where they are because they play this indoor futsal, which is not, I'm not against it for skill wise, but when you play outdoor, you need to be more in motion. You need to be moving more, and you need to make sure that you're not a standing player every single time. There are some situations that you gotta be, but most of the time moving creates more options for everybody, including yourself. So remember that moving creates more opportunity for you and for your teammates. Vary the types of runs to try and get behind and between the defensive line of the opponent. We kind of already went over that a little bit. Play the early cross when there's space behind the defensive line. This is a very big thing, and we kind of talked about this before. Why wait? And I know this is a really annoying subject for some of the forwards. Like, they are about to be one-on-one with the keeper, and they're in a good blind spot position of the defender, and the defender is so much outside the box, and he's in the same line with him. But the outside mid wants to dribble and beat another guy, and he wants to go all the way to the line before he can cross it. If you have the option to see that pass, do it early. Because we don't want to wait 40 seconds to score a goal. If we see it, why not score in the next 4 seconds? Okay, you need to be smart about this. And get numbers in the box is a key thing. Push the defensive line up and take preventive defensive actions. So we kind of always go after these, but this is the language. The United States soccer, they're A licensed coaches, they're B licensed coaches, they're C licensed coaches, they're D licensed coaches. They're all wanting to use this language now. And this is how they're training the US national team players, and this is the language they're using for them, okay? So this is important that you understand. A lot of the college coaches, they're being trained by the licensing, and everything else is going to be using this kind of language. So you need to be more familiar with it and make sure that you understand it too. Before we go to the next one, do you have any questions about this or comments? I would love some comments from coaches, from anybody else. I hope you guys understand. I know sometimes I go a little too fast, but let me know what you think. All right, Madison is asking about the additional info about the diagonal passing lines. So, like I gave an example about Ronaldo, right? Let's go to the next section. I was gonna show some stuff in here, but I'm gonna create, you know what? I'm gonna use this set because this is set up for something else. I'm gonna use this one for you. So let's just say this player right here has the ball. This is a D mid, okay? This player has the ball, and this player is in the outside position, okay, right here, and he's being marked, let's just say, and this guy is stepping from his right side to here, and so this is an opportunity for not moving forward necessarily. You can actually make a diagonal run here to create space right here, okay? And that also opens the way. So if he's going that way, he's receiving the ball, he's going to be coming in more, and that opens the way of this player as well. Does that make sense? So we need to make sure that we kind of take advantage of that. So diagonal runs can be anywhere in the field. So this player right here has the ball, and let's just say this player is here. This player here was showing up, but this player stepped to it. So make a diagonal run this way and open up behind him that way, because he can't see where you're going. He can, right? Because he's facing you, but he can't. So why not go and be behind his blind spot and show yourself there, and you can actually create a give and go, because we love give and goes in Washington State. That's what we want to do. So we're gonna create that give and go situation right here, and that opens up space for us, right? So it's same thing in here, like diagonal lanes. Like let's just say number 7 passes this number 8, the center mid, and there's a space in here, and let's just say this guy is not even here yet, and he has the ball right here, right? And number 9 is waiting for this incredible cross. When this guy is running to him to step, he doesn't have this. But I see this a lot. Like I'm running this way because I want to get in the position, but he's not in a crossing position. You can actually be like a little bit more running with the diagonal run like this way. He can release the ball to you here, and you can be one-on-one right away with the player by just running a little longer this way and staying the same side of the ball. Gets you in a position that you can score a goal. So that's actually a diagonal run taking advantage of the situation. Diagonal runs, we do not use it enough. Honestly, we just need to make sure that being smart about it. Oh, let me see. There's some of the questions other than that. Well, Christina, like the second person always need to be in an opening position, just like we just showed right here, right? I mean, in this case, if he's here and this guy has the ball, he needs to maybe, because this guy is stepping, so running forward is not going to get that pass, right? He needs to back up a little bit and, show where the ball shows. If he gets the ball, this guy can make a run because he's going to be stepping to that pass, and bomb, he's in the motion. So you just need to make sure that you're always open to receive and to be able to give the next pass. You need to be open for both, not only open to receive the ball, but open enough to be able to give the next ball too. Okay, let's see. No, just Joe. That means it's just you just got to be ready for any kind of mistake, any kind of attack is not going to the plan. You just need to be making sure you're prepared to get in a defensive position and keep your defensive responsibilities. We talked about that last week, like number 5 leading the team in a 3-player defender system, and he needs to be aware of when to pull back and when to have somebody step forward to the passer, right? Yeah and no, Melissa. It can situational, it can be different. I mean, in some ways aggressive tackles is a part of the game to kind of give a sign to the other team that this is going to be a battle. When we're saying aggressive tackles, we're not talking about dirty play. We're just telling them, hey, you know what, we're not going to let you go that easily, but we're just going to be aggressive, right? But depends. Sometimes we do play very smart, and especially when depends on the score and the team you're playing. Well, man-to-man marking is not a 3-defender system thing, really. I mean, in the areas that they come, we man mark the area. Does that make sense? Like, if this player, number 9, is here and makes a run, number 6 should not be running with him because that creates a space for this guy. Now, if he just drops the ball to this guy, number 9, after or he doesn't even get the ball, when he makes the run, this ding-dong is following him, and he opens up the way for this guy, and bomb, he's in position. So what it means is you mark the player in your position in the zonal area. So if this guy comes here, yeah, you got to stay tight with him because he's in your spot now. Does that make sense? All right, I'm gonna go to the, if I can get it to open. All right, to the green section. Now, do you have any questions before I move on to the next, like getting out of defense, for example? All right, number right here, this number 4 in the back has the ball. Now, a lot of times, unfortunately, there's a couple bad things happens with this. So this guy gets the ball, he has pressure, always going to come to him, and this guy is like taking off. He's like, oh my God, I see space. But is this a smart run? Like, it could work here and there, yeah, for sure. Like, but we're not Southampton. We are not going to be necessarily doing that every single time, right? We can do that here and there, but if the player is backing up to this means that we're going to get into possession position. So it's going to make this guy go. He's going to make a wide run. So bomb. Now we're in an attacking position. And obviously this guy is going to go deeper. That guy is going to go deeper. He's going to be running back. That guy is going to be coming. Center mid is running back. Most of the time, Washington State, a lot of the teams, they do not have their center backs that hardworking, except if they use a deep D mid. So if we just consider this a deep D mid is coming back, is a hard worker, let's just say, and this is like the best case scenario. They're coming back, right? So I want the one center mid to be supporting this right here. Other center mid here. We're going to be stepping up. This guy is taking off to the opposite side. We're going to be pushing up. Keep them in offside position. But if we're there, we're going to be deep, but we're not going to be super deep, right? So after the pass, he needs to be supporting too. So if he's in a supported position, that could mean my center mid can go this way. My forward can make a run. Center mid can be really, like sometimes this is what players ask me, can I not never attack? Yes, you can, if you know for sure you got your back covered. So if you're doing that run as a center mid, the outside mid needs to be covering you as well to get in a better position, because when he releases the ball here, you're going to be there, this guy's going to be here, this guy's going to be here, this guy's going to be here, right? And he needs to be, if he goes that far, he needs to be going outside the box right now and get in a position there. So when a cross comes, obviously these guys are running back too. But if you can catch him off guard, okay, off guard, release the ball here, release the ball to back post as soon as possible. And if everybody misses it, our outside net should be there. But if this guy is being lazy and the cross is a good cross but nobody touches it, it just goes out and we don't have the opportunity anymore. So this guy being there, even though he can never get the ball sometimes, he doesn't get the balls 10 times. And then, out of 20 times, let's just say he gets the ball maybe twice, but the second time he gets it, this makes a difference because that just creates another immediate opportunity inside the box. So you cannot just think defense. You need to make sure you get into offensive positions too. So do you see how quickly we got out of there? We get in a position right away, and obviously I'm gonna put these guys back to where they're supposed to be, and we're gonna be going back to a couple other combos. Does that make sense? Can you guys please comment if that makes sense to you? Immediate goal, if there is a guy, number 9, in the blind spot, Melissa, you want to go to the center forward right away or the back post right away. But if the defense recovers so fast and deep, if you recognize that and they are covering the center, then you can drop it back to outside the box. And that will be an easy shot for that player. But immediate option is inside the box. Closer you are to the goal, more chances, more goals you're going to score, for sure. Does that make sense? Please ask questions if you have anything about that one. Do you see how we moved? How quickly this guy... Oh, this is going to be a lot more, obviously, they're in defensive position. All right. So, this guy coming back to open up, and this guy making a diagonal run. And behind the blind spot run, it sometimes can go behind the defense quickly when they're recovering. Like I said, This is a one-touch pass to finish the goal. Very quickly you can get in a position and score the goal. Sometimes we overthink it. We want to be doing something very cool and La Liga like, but let me just tell you, I love Real Madrid. I love Barcelona. I am saying to the players that watches soccer, unless they're playing Atletico Madrid or each other, like La Liga is defensive wise, it's a joke. Like I don't enjoy watching a game. There's 8-0, 7-0, 8-2. Like obviously there's not a lot of defending going on, right? So I think that's the biggest problem with Barcelona and Real Madrid. If they're playing against better competition, I don't think they will ever lose the Champions League. I think they should be winning it every time because they have the best teams, right? Like that's my opinion at least. But you need to make sure that you face some good defenses. So, couple things. I see a lot of times when the pressure comes to this player, I see a lot of times this player, the teammates are standing in central positions, and like they don't see it. I yell at them. They're like, "I am open, Daji. I'm opening up." No, you're not. No, you're not. You can ask your center backs, and they will tell me. So many times you need to understand. I talk to the players individually, and I ask them what they see in the field. What do you see? And they tell me. They look up, and this is what they see. They are behind players, and they're not open. You making a side run to here opens up the play and opens up the next ball. And this guy is coming here, he's recovering, and you checking into between them. Okay, he's stepping. Let's just say you checking in between them. Bomb, and look at the through ball there. Bomb, and you're 1-on-1 with the keeper. So one of the biggest problem we see with the offensive possession is, let's just say this guy got the ball in a through ball. He showed up. This guy's running from here, and he showed up from here. He was here. He's thinking he's open somehow, but this player is running from there. So if he tries to pass it there, this player is going to steal the ball and might even score a goal. And everybody's going to be blaming the center back for the problem. But the problem is this guy. And obviously center back too. So even if he's not open, why are you doing that pass if he's not open then, right? Like just go somewhere else, drop it back to keeper. Keeper opens the game, or drop it back to your center back to go here. Like you have a lot of options. So don't push something that doesn't exist. I want you guys to remember what I just say. Like don't push for something that doesn't exist. Like this doesn't exist. There is a player in the way, right? But if this player shows up, look, is he in a good spot? No, because this guy has legs, guys. Believe it or not, people can move. Unlike some of our players, they do not like to move more than 2 yards. But this guy seems like he's a fit blue player, and he wants to move. So he might be doing something like that. And in that case, we need to make sure, us showing up here is not enough. You need to show up between them exactly. And that also confuses defenders too, because of this. They will assume that he'll get it or he'll get it. You just pass it right in between them. Does that make sense? So in this case, this guy gets the ball. He's thinking he's all open, and he is. But if this guy is about to step, right, why not back up a little bit this way, and you have more space now to see the next ball. And one touch to the through ball here. He's coming here, right? And you can back up here, or you can make a diagonal run to the through ball right here. And he can release the ball to the player on side, and he could be in an offensive position right away. A lot of times we don't create these positions. We think we do, but we are actually showing up closer to this guy. Why not just look at both players and going right between them? Okay, it's very simple. Okay, I'm going to put these guys in weird positions, and boom, he gets the ball. And let's just say this guy is offside position right now, so he can't run there, so where can he run? There's one player here, two right here, right? He can back up to this gap. Boom. Look. He can make a run here, but does he see that pass? He can see a longer through ball pass to make a run that way. okay? Or he can make a diagonal run to here, and that's the diagonal run success right there. He can pass the ball, he'll be onside. Do you see how I'm always running to the shoulder of the player until the pass? That's why we yell at our players, go to the shoulder of the player. So when you do that, because a lot of the forwards, unfortunately, or offense players, they're Forrest Gump. They're going straight, they're gone off the field. Like, they're not going to be back anymore. Oh, they're back again. Okay, they just made a whole world trip, and they're back now. It's actually now U19 soccer. When last time he was here was U12. So you want to make sure that you get to the goal immediately, and diagonal run, and with the shoulder of the player. When the ball is released, you're on side, and you're one-on-one with the keeper. And there's no better opportunity for you to score a goal than this. Does that make sense? So diagonal runs are more critical. But look, in the game, I'm assuming, let's just say, it's a 3, there's 2 center mids, that's one forward, and that's an outside mid, right? So he gets the ball here. This guy could be right here. Or he's checking right here to the through ball right here. Why not you make a run here? Or why not you're thinking this guy is one of our like lazy center forwards, and you're seeing, oh my God, he sees so much space. I'm gonna make a diagonal run to here. Why not? Why not? Because you could be the right back or right wing, but you could be in that situation. I've seen players like Philip Lahm, Marcelo make these kind of runs all the time, because sometimes the forwards do a lot of work and they get lazy, correct? All right. Any question about this? All right. Let's see. I got the ball here, and he made a diagonal run, but they close up the gap. They are doing a good job sliding, right? This team is really good at sliding as a team. They come fast. They are solid positions, and they're really good at closing every gap. So what do we do? If he beats the guy, like this is what a lot of, unfortunately, some of the coaches I worked with before, they just want this guy to beat the guy and go beat this guy maybe and then release the ball, which is great if you have like Ronaldo playing right back. But even Ronaldo, is he going to be consistent doing this every single time? Maybe Ronaldo can, but unless you are making $100 million a year, and I'm not aware of it, playing soccer, I think we need some teammates' help in this case. So do you remember the showing up between? So the center mid, there's one guy here, shows up here. That also takes the attention of this player, right? That opens up this way. So if he gets the ball, he touches it a little bit this way, away from the pressure, because he knows there's a pressure here, and releases the ball to through ball, and a long ball here. How quickly can we get in an offensive position? Look at where I'm running. I'm always running behind them. I'm never literally running in front of them. Okay, I'm always going to a good forward, never shows themselves that easily, right? And in this case, if he wants to make a diagonal run, that's fine, but he's in a goal position right away. So if I release it, it's foot race now. And honestly, a defender running from his own goal is pretty tough to defend that. Versus all you have to do is take a shot there one time, or pass it back to somebody else to finish the goal and the back post, right? So how quickly did we get from that situation to this, right? So what do we say? He opens up, right? But this guy is doing a good job, and this guy is marking, right? And he's not really seeing an option. So this guy shows up in between. He knows that there's a player coming from here, so he touches it a little bit this way to open up space for the next ball, and bomb. Obviously, don't kick it out, right? You need to be going a high ball with a backspin. Perfect ball to control for this player, and you're in a very dangerous position. These are good information. And a lot of you guys think that you can do this in the game, and it looks easy here, but can you do it every single time? How many times a center mid, I'm going to ask you specifically some of the center mids, they came to me. When they get the ball, they turn immediately and they try to take a bomb. I want to just beat a couple players and then do this incredible through ball to this guy and we score an amazing goal. Yes, you can do that, but you're not going to be able to do that out of 100 times, 80 times. You're going to be able to do that maybe 10 times out of 100. What type of coach do you think I am? Do you think I am individual Cash Park glory guy? Or I am more about consistency and we score more goals, we defend more goals from getting scored on, and I want more trophies. Which one do you think I am? Come on, talk, make a comment, let me know what you think about this. I'm gonna give you a minute for this. I want to hear some comments. At least let me know you got it. I don't want thumbs up, I want comments. Write them, use your hands. You got them. Ajit, explain the third man run, like we open it like a diagonal run, and that action has to have a reaction behind the player. Are you talking about the player running to the space behind that player that created? It's very dangerous, Hector. Like honestly, that's why this player needs to be aware. Like in this situation right here, showing up between two players. He needs to be checking his shoulder. If he doesn't have this player, then he needs to touch it this way and see the next ball, which needs to be maybe a forward checking into that gap or this guy checking into that gap, right? But he needs to be aware before he receives the ball. So if he knows this player is here stepping to him, his first touch is going to be here. That's going to see this player, and you just open the game to the other side. I have a couple of comments there. Yes, Jawad, but unfortunately, when we first got you too, you looked at the ball a lot, right? Down to the ball a lot. 1, 2, you like to try to like immediately go forward sometimes, or you're not aware of your surroundings. I think you're getting smarter. You're checking your balance more, and you know what's helping you, but before you receive the ball, when you go deeper. You know how I always yelled at you at the beginning and you were always flat in a square ball? But now you're going deeper, you're actually more aware of your surroundings because you can see what's around you. The guy who's going to defend you most likely to be coming from the defensive side than the offensive side. How many forwards do you see that is making a 40-yard run just to steal the ball from you? Not a lot. Yes, there are some, but not a lot. That's not consistently, right? So you being deeper in positions is creating more space and time for you. So when you show up to here, if you're aware of this, you can actually even touch it back. So like, watch this. So you can do a combination like this. If this player is a good player, when you check in, you know there's a player behind you, so you can just drop it back to him to the center and tell him to open the game, and he can open the game. And this center back sees the left mid open, and he tells the other center mid, open the game quick, forward. Or you can tell the name of the player, right? You just pass it forward and you're in an offensive position right away. And look, we can go to defense offline, right? Just release it right away. That's going to cause an immediate attack. And on site, hopefully. Unless this is one of our forwards that likes doing this. The Forrest Gump run. I am forever going forward. Forever. Nope, we just need to either make a diagonal run this way, like wait on the shoulder of the player right here, diagonal run, or go back away from the player and wait for the pass to be given and then get a cut, run. Do you see that? Away and in kind of run. And you're on site now. Does that make sense? Yeah, Ajit, yeah, the opposite side needs to be expecting a cross to back post to open the game immediately. So he needs to think offense. The moment we have possession of the ball, we need to think offense. All right, let me see. Dude, exactly, Nick, what we were talking about, mate. Like off the ball movement, right? So let's just say, all right. Let's just say we're in a more compact situation. Everybody is coming back to here and they are more compact, right? And, oh, my bad. Outside mid receives the ball and passes it to this player. So if this player is running back in a defensive position that you can't see this pass right away, like he's coming back, he can block that pass, we can release it to this option. And that means the center forward can make a diagonal run to here to receive the ball. Do you see how I made that run though? I did this, right? So when the ball is passed, I can be right behind, waiting for right here, waiting for the pass, and I can be making a run and catch the ball before it goes too far. And now they're recovering. They're recovering. Don't have to dribble all the way to the line to pass this ball. If you pass the back post and these guys are making a sprinting run, this could be an immediate goal. Hard work required for this. Like, don't be standing forwards. Even a target forward, you cannot be standing. Like, a lot of people, I love Drogba, and the last years of Drogba, especially when he played in Galatasaray, he was a target forward that a lot of this. What Isaac likes to do. Just, I want to be, this is my movement. This is as far as I'm going to go. So this is my area. I'm going to play the ball around here. Okay? But no, like, you don't have world-class offensive players on the outsides to do that. So this forward needs to be, if he's checking in, that's great. But sometimes ball comes here and this guy is on a lot of pressure and there is nobody here, let's just say. Okay? Sometimes the center forward can move into this gap, one touch to release it to this player, and now he's making a run here. Now, this is what I see. Another center forward problem, right? He gets the ball, he passes it, this player is inside the box, these guys are running, and I'm like, I just want to drop right here because it's pretty. These guys are running back. Wouldn't you want to just make a run quickly and just finish it right here? This is the easiest goal, okay? What you want to do every single time, you can drop. What if the center mid is coming back? And now you're just going to do your cute move to beat him. Go backwards a little bit. Oh, my bad. Backwards a little bit, do a move. And this guy is coming back. Maybe do a nutmeg between his legs. Look pretty and maybe cut this and then pass it back. Great. Well, you just killed an attack. And I see a lot of this, unfortunately. Like, because of your personal glory, dudes, Carlos Rodriguez, I felt like he had so much potential. He's not showing it. Like, when he plays so much Cash Park soccer, I felt like he was wasting his talent. And last year, I kept pushing Carlos. I kept telling him, play simple. Just play simple. Play quick. Play simple. And he scored an outstanding amount of assists and outstanding amount of goals. Total of points that we got, goals and assists, he was the top. He was the most successful attacking player. And I don't know how tall, Carlos, you are, but I'll say 5'7", 5'6", 5'7", and you were the most effective offensive player when we had guys who were 6'7" playing forward, and you had the most goals and assists playing an outside attacking mid. So obviously, what I'm saying, playing it quick, playing it simple, will be a lot more useful, scoring a lot more goals for you. This attitude of like keeping the ball on your feet as long as you can is not what, like, I know you watch, like I said, La Liga is dangerous, man. Like, when you watch Italian league and like English league, the competition is better. I'm not saying those teams are good. I mean, and I don't want to say it out loud, but some of my English friends might get mad at me, but less English players they have in the team, more successful possession they have. So, those teams, but in general, the competition is good. The defensive competition is good. And catching, like moving the ball faster than yourself is a lot better. In Italy, in Germany, in France and in England, right? So all those countries move the ball a lot faster. Accuracy and, making sure you got more consistency. Germany is probably the top for that. Not the top for the most creative players, but efficiency, yes, they are. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Center forward making a run diagonally creates so much space for everybody. Like, it's not even that necessarily, man. Like, watch. So let's just say the forward has a guy on him, right? And you have the ball as a center mid, and you're kind of dribbling this way. If this guy is making a run to open up, this is a good space for him to see the next pass and stuff. But Ajit, Jawad also, if he's being marked, everybody's running that way with him and they're sliding, and this guy is also see that you might pass to him, that opens up space for you to beat this guy. And look at the space you have for this guy now, the pass. This is something Zidane would do. Zidane would wait for the player. He sees that he has a army of players marking this guy. He would wait. He will do some fakes. He'll just play around with the ball, just like act like he's going to pass to somebody, slow down this pressure a little bit. And once this guy is making a diagonal run and takes the attention of these players, he beats the player this way and releases the ball to this player. And this player, if he releases the ball to back post right away, and this guy is going to look back, like away from this defender, he can even score, or he can pass the back post, bomb, it's a goal. Did you guys see that? You have no idea. I just wish that if I could still have two of my knees, I will be playing in Europe doing this right now. If I wasn't injured, I'll be playing in Europe doing this. It's so frustrating for me to waste these in a game. When I see these options, like, this is what I see. You just wait. Like, if this guy is not being, let's just say this. I'm going to go back to where you were. Okay. So let's just say this. He makes a diagonal run and he's not being, he's not being marked, right? This guy is coming but not fast enough. If he makes the run, if you see it, pass it right away. And if you touch it with the opposite foot this way, that's going to create space for you to see the next ball, right? And bomb to this guy and you're in attack. But unfortunately, this is what we do. We see the guy making a run and he's open. But we want to beat this guy. We have in our mind now, we are going to beat this guy. But when you beat this guy, he has a pressure cover and we lose the ball. I see a lot of this in games. So what did I say about Zidane does? Zidane, if he sees the players making a run with him and clears his way, then he beats the guy. He knows what is the most options, the most creative options that he's going to have. But some of you guys, the worst thing you can do to yourselves, oh, I do this all the time. If you say that, if you do this all the time, you would not be playing in Washington State right now. So have a hungry, open mind and say that, okay, I gotta do this more. I need to do this more. I need to be creative. I need to see. If I see the pass, what is my rule? My coach used to yell at us in Europe. Okay, what is my rule? If I look at a person more than 2 seconds, do not pass to them anymore. So if I look at him, he's open, pass it. Bomb, touch, pass it. We're moving on fast. But if I look at the person more than 2 seconds, what does that do? It makes players to go to him, right? Then now don't pass to him. Either cut back and pass to somebody else, or now it's a good time to beat the player and release it to here. Does that make more sense about that decision? I see the question from Joel. I'm going to get to that question, but I'm going to wait for if there's any question about what I just said. Because this is an important subject. What I just mentioned is a problem subject. But that question you're asking, Joel, is a good one. I'm going to go back to that real quick. Okay, now I see that you guys are answering questions yourself. Here's the deal. To create space for yourself as a center mid, if you're playing Ajit with a 4 defender system, he can do that, and it's easier to switch with somebody that position. But with a 3 defender system, you do want Jawad to be playing in the center as long as he can. So if you guys remember the World Cup, when Holland, well, that's the World Cup that Holland, with a stupid penalty kick, Mexicans complain about, Mexican fans complain about with the Arjen Robben diving, right? In that game, and in that World Cup, so they played with this Snyder, let's just say, they play with the 3-5-2, right? And Snyder sometimes came back all the way here. And that allowed the midfielders to spread out and gives space to here to receive the ball, sometimes even deeper than. This is a number 10. This is this position right here. They played a 3-5-2. He came all the way here, even deeper than defense to start the attack. Because that made them push up. Okay, and that is creating more space behind. And if anybody can give that kind of balls, it's him too. But that's not what he's asking for either. He wants the pressure to come to him, right? So he creates these opportunities. So now, when he passes the ball, he starts making a run. They give it back to him. He gives another pass. And now this guy's right away in a position. So that's one thing that a player can do, and in this case, it's easier for a D-mid to do that. A D-mid to come back and do that, so he can see, because he's a playmaker. He can start something here. He can even see something long and give a pass here. That's fine. Start something new. But this movement, that movement, this movement, that movement. That movement, this movement. You see that like constant movement, but I'm never going that way. Ajit's answer in that case could be very bad for our 3-back system. So I hope you learned from that. Ajit, that's why you need to make sure that your outside mids are very vocal and they are very hardworking coming back and forth. Not always behind defense, Jawad, but yes, you can do that. You just need to make sure you use the central areas as much as you can. There is going to be cases, of course, you see an opportunity on the outside, you can go there. I'm not saying you can't. Like Jason said, it's situational. Does that make it clear? I want you guys to do me a favor, a couple things. One, if you guys want to stay as a captain, I want you guys to start getting on your players before the video training starts. Two, we send some, I posted in Instagram page some challenges you guys can try to do. I posted 4, maybe 7 challenges. Try to do those and send it. You can also send your videos of 20s that we ask. I'm not asking you to show me you lifting weights. I'm asking you to show me specific things and be a team player, be responsible, and start doing that, and asking your teammates to do it. That's what it means to be a part of the team. Because if you're going to go to a D1 coach and he asks you, or a professional coach, he asks you, I want you to do this drill. And then you send them, look, I'm lifting weights, I'm working out. How much respect do you think that guy is going to have for you? Please understand, stick to plan. This is a hard time for all of us. We all want to be in the field. But you need to at least do the things that we're asking, challenge yourselves, and stick to the plan. Okay? If anybody wants to be a captain, and when we come back and stay as a captain, I want you to get on your teams, and I want leadership. I'm not asking from my pro players alone. I'm asking for my U14 girls, U12 boys. I need you guys to start being responsible. You need to take charge. We cannot ask the parents to do this for you. I don't want any parent here apologizing for being late. It needs to be the kids' responsibility. They need to put in their calendar, and this is the time they need to be, and they need to get on your case as parents. I need to be there on time. I need to do this on time, not the other way around. Because if they're making that choice and you're pushing them, the success level of that kid is very low. They need to make that choice. Okay? I hope you guys listen to this. I really want to see more involvement. And do me another big favor. Watch this video again. And slow motion it. Stop it. Pause it. Kim is doing videos. Kim, there is a couple combinations. If you can break it into a couple different combinations, they can watch it small versions of it. That's good too. Okay? Thanks, guys, for another good session. I hope you understand it. I hope I answered your questions. There's been some great questions tonight. Not as much involvement, but the questions that came was great. And sorry I didn't get to some of the questions right away. I think my screen froze. But thank you for tonight. I appreciate you guys.